Well, good Monday afternoon, everybody. Meteorologist Greg Majestic back with you here in the North Georgia Majestic Weather Studios with the weather update here on your June the 20th, 2026. A lot of sunshine, warm temperatures, and only a few showers here and there for today. They're pretty sparse, and I think we'll probably see the same thing for tomorrow. Now, we are going to see an increased chance of rain a little bit here coming later in the week, and the temperatures are going to back off just a little bit. We'll update you there on the latest 7-day here in just a second. Now, before we get rolling, if you're new here to our YouTube channel and you live anywhere across North Georgia, let me quickly introduce myself as your personal weatherman. Love for you to give me a hire, as I'm on a mission to build a professional 24-hour weather channel, and I could sure use your help. It's all about subscribers, so you know the drill. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you're alerted on all weather updates, as well as being alerted whenever we do any live severe weather coverage exclusively here for North Georgia. All right, let's go ahead and get into today's update as we're looking at some sunshine, some clouds. Moving through Delano, got really a nice looking day this afternoon overall, not bad at all. A little warm, but not too bad. And here in Brazelton, seeing similar sky conditions with sunshine, just a very light wind out there and staying pretty much high and dry. So looking pretty good. Radar is showing this. Again, we got a few spotty showers. I see a few down here in Metro Atlanta. There's a couple up here across North Georgia. And we've had a couple others that have popped up here and there that have since fizzled it on out. But that's about what we expect here for the rest of this afternoon. Look at your temperatures. It's a steamer, that's for sure. We got high temperatures there, 90 in Atlanta. There's 90 over in Jefferson as well as Gainesville. So it's a little steamy out there, to say the least. There's 92 over Tignal. So, again, just a warm afternoon, and looks like we're seeing a pretty decent day overall. Now, we are seeing a lot of activity down here in southwest Georgia. This is coming around that now tropical storm, Bertha down here. It's a weak one, not very strong at all, and it's just the circulation sitting here. It's moving in a westerly direction. We got a little bit of a surge there, warnings up here along the coast there for some of the water that maybe gets kind of moved in that direction. But overall, really not looking all that impressive. In fact, the center of circulation doesn't have any real thunderstorms around it. It's exposed for the moment. We got some dry air that's kind of entrenched in here. So this storm is not expected to get very strong at all. In fact, it may even fizzle on out, as some of the models are suggesting out there. But we'll continue to watch it and see, make sure it doesn't do anything unexpected. Now, as far as our rainfall threat, again, maybe a local downpour up to the north, but really not looking bad here for today. But as we go ahead and take a look at what we expect over the next several days here. So as we take a look at Tuesday, looking dry, but Wednesday gets a little more active. Yeah, we got a front coming into the area, so it looks like northeast Georgia will be favored for some pretty heavy downpours up in this area here going into your Wednesday. And then as we go into Thursday, it'll slide off to the east there a little bit and back off a bit. And then Friday, we're looking all nice and clear. So, again, we just got a couple of rainy days ahead for us. Now, as far as severe weather is concerned here, again, just a general thunderstorm threat today. Really not a big deal here for this afternoon. Tomorrow might see a marginal risk up here across extreme North Georgia here with an isolated thunderstorm or two, but really not looking too bad in that department. And then going into Wednesday, kind of clipping here across portions of eastern Georgia here going into the middle of your week forecast. All right, let's take a look here at the regional model here. I've got this moving all the way through, so you can kind of get an idea of what Bertha is going to do out here, and it's kind of moving off in this direction. What's interesting is some of the models are even suggesting you kind of see some of the data where it's kind of splitting in two, where the low-level circulation goes one way and the upper-level circulation goes another. Really not a big deal with this system as it continues to move off toward the west here. Going to stay on the weak side, but what we're going to be watching is a couple of frontal systems that are going to be coming up in this area and kind of enhancing our chance of rain in this zone going into Wednesday and Thursday across North Georgia. But other than that, that's going to be about it, folks. So here's the official track there. As you can see, it stays as a tropical storm for the duration as it moves toward Louisiana. So by the time we get into Louisiana here, going into the 22nd, you see basically 45-mile-per-hour winds. Really not a big deal. And then they back it off to a tropical depression as it gets over here off the coast here briefly before moving into Texas. Now, we're just hoping we don't get a lot of tropical moisture stuck in here across portions of Texas, which got hit pretty good with some heavy rains and flooding rains last week. So that's the only thing I'm concerned about with the moisture from this tropical system. Now, as we look at the weather maps, we are going to see a frontal boundary come on in here, and you see it kind of dropping down into Georgia here as we head toward the middle of the week. So it's going to bring our rain chances up, and it may bring the dew points down just a little bit. It'll be interesting to see how far south that boundary goes, because if it gets far enough south, then maybe we'll get temperatures really not only backing off into 80s, maybe the overnight lows will see a few more 60s out there. But typically the fronts this time of year don't really push all the way to the Gulf Coast. They just kind of get stuck across Georgia, usually across North Georgia. So we'll watch that closely going into the middle of the week. So here's the forecast here for tomorrow. Again, similar to today's, 93, 74 there in the Gainesville area. Steamy day. We'll keep a slight chance of a shower and thunderstorm in the forecast just in case, but for the most part, it's going to be a dry and hot day ahead. Here's your morning lows here. It looks like most everybody's lows here are going to be in the 70s here, so not really seeing the 60s out there tomorrow morning. It looks like the humidity's coming up just a little bit. Dew point's coming up just a little bit, so might be a degree or two warmer in the morning than what we've seen the last couple of mornings. And then as we go into the afternoon hours here by 4 o'clock, you see 92 there in Atlanta, 89 Gainesville, 93 over to Jefferson, 94 over at Dalton. So, yeah, it's a bit of a steamer. And, of course, you factor in that feel-like temperature out there. You might get a few that'll be sneaking near the 100-degree mark, but at least we're not into quite heat advisory criteria there expected for tomorrow. But it will be a little bit steamy out there. All right, let's look at your regional forecast here. You want to talk about steamy? Check this out, man. This has been hitting 106 in the last 3 runs there over to Little Rock, 102 up here at Mountain Home. Glad we're not getting that kind of heat, but we are getting scattered storms here. Obviously, the temperatures along the Gulf Coast are being kept down because of the clouds of our tropical system skirting there toward the south. How about the next 7 days? How are they looking? All right, let's take a look at this. All right, we got the rain chances coming up on Wednesday and Thursday. You saw that frontal system coming into the area. And then we're back in the temperatures off into the 80s for a few days. And into Gainesville, 86, low 70s. Not bad. Could maybe sneak in the upper 60s. We'll watch it closely. And then the temperatures are expected to climb back up as we go into early next week, where it looks like we get back into the 90s. All right, now we got thunderstorms coming our way. That means you may want to download our free weather app. It's free, folks. You go to the Apple Store, you go to Google Play, put in North Georgia Majestic weather. You'll see it come up there. Download this great weather app, by the way. It's going to alert you when rain's getting near your location. It's going to alert you about lightning nearby, severe weather alerts, hour-by-hour forecast, nice future cast, so you can kind of see where the rain is going. It's a great app, so you want to download this. Brought to us by our weather app sponsor, Roof It Forward, out of Woodstock, Georgia. They're one of the best quality roofing companies here in North Georgia, and they also give a portion back to local children's charity, so it's truly a great pay-it-forward organization. Check them out if you get a chance, if you need to get that roof done. Don't put it off. That's for sure. All right, again, appreciate you guys checking us out here on the YouTube channel. Again, we're slowly growing the channel. Big goal is to get to 25,000. We got a long way to go, folks, but hopefully you guys will help us out in this effort. When we say professional, we're talking about broadcast quality stuff here as far as our equipment's concerned, as far as our weather computer and video camera network, the works. That's what we're trying to build here. So you can help us out. Just hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that notification bell. It's so critical to get those updates. All right, that'll do it for today. Y'all be good, stay safe, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. You guys enjoy the rest of your Monday. Bye-bye.